What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Say it ain't so, you guys. We got a viral clip surfacing of the New York Attorney General, Leticia James, guys, and this one may have just nailed her to the coffin. We know her for, aimlessly coming after Trump with these civil lawsuits. Her and the judge, New York Judge Arthur Ingram, the two in tandem, have got themselves in a little bit of trouble with this next move they made in this clip, guys. I'm excited to check out what's going on, what Leticia James has done to bring the both of them down. So we're going to get straight into it, guys, and I'll give my thoughts on the back end, guys. So definitely stick around to the end so you guys can get my thoughts on the back end. But let's get straight into it, you guys. Before we do that, though, make sure you guys hit that like button. It does not cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
Oh, yeah. In a final act of desperation, Leticia James in New York suddenly jumps Trump's fine by $100 million. But it ends up exposing how desperate they are. This case was always just junk. There was no trial. There was no jury. It was just made up stuff against Trump. We're going to go into this in the final wrap up and get some CNN spokesfaces to weigh in. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug Tenaple. I'm a barely literate comic book artist. I created Earthworm Jim and the Neverhood, some bunch of video games. You guys, you're probably all too young. But welcome to Exile. This is where the Patriots hang out all the way to the end when we put Trump back in the White House this fall. That's right. It's this year.
Right. This just into CNN. The New York Attorney General seeking now more than $370 million from former President Trump and his co-defendants in the civil fraud trial. Leticia James also looking to bar the former president from doing business in the state.
This whole thing is a giant fraud. They're wrapping up statements this week. So they already made their general statements. Now they make them in court this week. And then this one's over. And Trump will appeal, hopefully to a higher court, hopefully to the Supreme Court, and it'll be laughed out of the courts.
They say that the myriad deceptive schemes they employed to inflate asset values and conceal facts were so outrageous that they belie innocent explanations. Now, Trump's team has argued that their financial statements were accurate, that there's no evidence presented in this case that the bank would have given them different interest rate terms had they gotten different financial statements, or the values that the Attorney General's office argues were the accurate values.
Yes, you have two different opinions presented in a court. But the problem is this isn't a trial. Trump doesn't have someone to appeal to who isn't a Democrat. I just want to go to my people out there. Let's take, for instance, any woman or any black person, any minority. Have you ever heard of a black person in the last 100 years who was put in a court on trial without a jury? Who did not get a jury, who is not allowed to weigh evidence, counter argument with anyone who wasn't part of the opposition? That's what Trump is facing right now. I've never even heard of this happening to anyone in America in the last 100 years.
You know, the judge has already ruled in this case in a summary judgment motion that the financial statements were persistent and fraudulent. And the issue now for him is to decide how much money the Trumps would have to pay and whether there is a ban. But there are also 6 other claims that the Attorney General's office is pursuing, and that's why it went to trial. That's a conspiracy claim, insurance fraud, falsifying business records, and issuing false financial statements.
This is in America. You can just make up any charges and then make up a fine. And tell them the whole time. Remember, Trump kept trying to claim he was innocent. And the judge kept saying, you're not on trial. This isn't about if you're innocent or not. We've already found you guilty. And the only matter is, how much of a fine are we going to slap on you? What other charges are we going to add on to you? This is a puppet show. This cannot stand. You don't want to set this precedent in New York with business.
After that, the judge said he will issue a written opinion. That is, he said he hoped to do by the end of the month, or at least into February. So then he will write a written opinion on this. Trump's team has already signaled that they intend to appeal. In fact, a lot of their arguments during the trial, they'd said to the judge they had to put it on the record because they intend to appeal this decision because they didn't expect him to rule in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to appeal this. And then here's CNN where they're going, whoa, Alina Habba is threatening the Supreme Court that they better get in line, to which, of course, is not true. Alina Habba does not threaten the Supreme Court.
I think it should be a slam dunk in the Supreme Court. I have faith in them. You know, people like Kavanaugh, who the president fought for, who the president went through hell to get into place. He'll step up. Those people will step up, not because they're pro-Trump, but because they're pro-law.
Anyone who knows anything about Kavanaugh knows this stuff would not work on him. So even if Alina Habba thinks she can pressure him, you cannot pressure him. It's a lifetime appointment. Kavanaugh has already ruled in things that went against Trump. For instance, not willing to see the Sidney Powell election integrity stuff that came out back in 2020. So he hasn't shown any favoritism or that he owes Trump anything, which is what they're going to imply Alina Habba has said here. Watch.
If I'm Brett Kavanaugh, I'm like, okay, well, you just put me in a box. Not that it matters. They are lifetime appointments, but.
Thank you. Not that it matters. It literally doesn't matter. It's a lifetime appointment. So no, it doesn't put Kavanaugh in a box for or against Trump. He has no obligation. He doesn't owe Trump anything for electing him.
I took that as even more than a prediction, didn't you? I mean, this is Trump's lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, remember who brung you to the dance, Brett Kavanaugh? That's the way I took that.
Lifetime appointment. I don't think he needs to remember anything.
Yeah, well, that's very, very true.
They just keep correcting the CNN hack. It's a lifetime appointment, a lifetime appointment. Nothing's going to happen to this guy, so there's no obligation for him to do what Trump wants. Meanwhile, here's a piece of an article. I forgot where I got it from. Oh, yeah, Newsweek. In his response to Truth Social, Trump wrote, "I did nothing wrong. My financial statements are great and very conservative, the exact opposite of what the highly political and totally corrupt New York State Attorney General, Leticia James, says. Now the corrupt AG, Attorney General, wants $370 million as businesses flee New York. They should pay me. This is prosecutorial misconduct," Trump says. "A Department of Justice witch hunt." Trump has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. And he's right. New York businesses, you guys should get out of there. Do you want this to happen to you? Remember, they said Trump's sons can't do business in there for 5 years. Do you want them to punish your family because they fell from your loins? They're guilty of something? So this is once again a giant fraud. This exposes Leticia James. Just the fine. Let's just pull another $100 million out of this thing. They see him as like an ATM machine or like a slot machine. Let's just pull, $100 million more. I think she should have added $1 billion to his fine to expose themselves even more that this is just another Democrat corrupt. This is theft. This is legal theft.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from our friend Doug. Definitely going to be sure to leave that original video link in the description box below for those of you who want to go over there and check that out. And also for you guys to go over there and show our friend Doug in Exile some love. Oh my goodness, guys. I've said this time and time again. You know, this is a whole political witch hunt. This case is a charade case, guys. This civil fraud case that Leticia James has brought up has no evidence, no merit. She had absolutely no basis bringing about this case on President Donald Trump other than the fact that she wants to tie up and interfere with the 2024 election process, guys. I'm glad we're starting to see all these rogue figures, you know, show their hand. These agents are coming out. We've seen Jack Smith, you know, trying to hurry up and rush the court system, rush due process in order to get a quick appeal from the Supreme Court, showing his political bias in his case. Now we're seeing Attorney General Leticia James slapping a random $100 million fine on top of Trump's already, you know, hefty fine. This is obviously a big desperation move coming from the New York Attorney General, guys. We already know this case was a full, you know, political witch hunt. By the way, it was set up from day one. When Trump walked into that courtroom, he was guilty, and they were just trying to figure out how much he would have to pay. And now they're just slapping fines on him, trying to make him pay as much as possible. They're saying that this isn't making him shake, isn't making him quiver or back down. So they're trying to, slap on more and tack on more punishment for Trump in order to see if they can get some sort of reaction out of him. But they don't know that he will not break. This is all going to get appealed. This is the reason why I believe we're seeing, Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, speaking in such a confident manner in that Fox News clip. And then we see CNN almost panicking that she's so confident that the Supreme Court in their appeal, in Trump's appeal, will rule in his favor. Knowing that he has appointees on the Supreme Court. We all know CNN's going to try to put their spin on it. They're trying to say that she basically threatened the Supreme Court justice by saying that he's going to have to rule in a certain favor. That's not the case. She just says she knows he's a patriot. She knows that he stands for true justice, guys. She knows that he will not let this happen. The appeal will definitely go in Trump's favor, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Seems like we're seeing a lot of these figures, crash and burn. All these figures that have been coming after Trump over this past year, we've been seeing them just try to take him down. It's not going to work, and Trump's going to get elected, and there's going to be some sort of retribution. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what kind of retribution do we think we're going to see coming from Trump administration in his corner. Also, make sure you guys smash that like button, guys. It does not cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy. Also, hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next one. We go.